So let's talk about seats some more. So, um, and this may show up better in my photos. When RANS went to the one-piece seat frame, it seemed to, well, it seemed like maybe the seat didn't go back as far relative to the mesh. And there's been a lot of discussion about that on Bent Rider, and you can probably search that up. This cutout is also thought to be a contributing factor. I don't have a particular problem with that, but what I would like to show, I've never seen anybody really say much about this, and I brought it up before. So over the years, there's been some variation in the angle between the back and the base. So I think you can see that this horn is pointed up more than this one, and the back is pretty close, but trust me, there's a difference. And then the third bike is also like this bike in terms of it being more open. So this just I don't understand why this isn't more of an issue. So again, some people are not sensitive to seats, and I'm extremely sensitive to seats. So I fuss about seats a lot. So on a bike with bracket a little, higher relative to the seat, I lay the seat back a little more, and the flatter, the more open angle works better. On a bike with a lower bottom bracket, I tend to have the seat a little more upright, and so I want the angle more closed, so it holds me in the seat better. So to me, it's a huge difference. Now, another funny thing, this bike here, you say, well, John, why do you have two identical bikes? Well, that bike has 175mm cranks, and I think this Gliss has probably or this tail one probably has 155s, and I used to think it was a big deal, and now I seem to be able to go between them without much issue. So because the cranks, basically I ride on that bike with the seat more laid back than on this bike, because the cranks are at the top of that stroke. The crank, my hip angle is more closed, just because the cranks are longer. So that enables me, or makes me more comfortable with having the seat more laid back. So that's an open angle seat, that's a more closed angle seat, and that's an open angle seat. The other thing, sometimes I have kind of big thighs, and the horn, it can chafe a bit. It feels a little big to me. So over the years, I have from time to time used short seats, pads. So at one time, RANS made a shortstop seat, and it was intended for the Screamer Stoker, because the Screamer, and I have a frame here, the Screamer is this Stoker seat, has the most closed angle of all the seats. So if you want to ride really upright, that might be something to look into. So they made a shortstop pan for the Screamer, if somebody wanted that, because you had to put your legs down, and you didn't want too much thigh interference. So I have a shortstop seat on one bike or another. I believe this is just a cut down plastic pan. So that's another thing. I'm fairly thick, so for me to be sensitive about the horn, it seems like thin people would be even more sensitive about this depth and it might, shorter pan might work better for them. But this could just all be my own idiosyncrasies, and maybe it doesn't matter to another soul on the planet. But you know, and I haven't tried a B3 seat, a Baketta B3 seat, but there's the seat is really long here and narrow here, and I can't predict how that would work for me. But I tend to go shorter, you know.